This show is brought to you in association with HostGator, where web hosting is made easy and affordable. Check out our hosting plans over at hostgator.com. Hello and welcome to Gamers, Geeks and Media Freaks, the fortnightly show that brings you the latest news and reviews from the worlds of video games, movies, TV shows and technology. Welcome to episode 12. We've got a lot of reviews this week, a little bit of news, but lots of new stuff to cover. So let's start with some video game news. So we thought it's worth a quick mention. Gamescom is on at the moment as this episode airs. Be lots of news coming out from Germany, but at the moment obviously we haven't got that news, so we can't really relate it to you at the time of recording. But it's worth noting, every year sort of we get some quite interesting little bits come out from Gamescom, like little bits of information about games we don't know about yet, and consoles. This year's console, so you know.
As we're talking now, the PS4 release date should be known.
Yeah.
And so if you check out our Facebook page, I think all the news over the last few days will be up on there. So
hopefully. The other thing we're going to mention is we keep mentioning GTA on the show. You're probably getting sick of it by now.
I've seen. I know what you're going to talk about next. So I won't say it.
We had another trailer. You know, Rockstar like to put out their trailers and like every so often, you know. We got to see what online was going to be like. A little tiny tease for what online was going to be like, because it's obviously a huge thing. GTA Online, it's coming on the 1st of October, which is like 3 weeks into the launch of GTA 5. It looks pretty incredible, I've got to be honest. I wasn't expecting it.
It's a lot different to what I thought it would be. Yeah,
I mean, when GTA 4 came out, I remember we used to go online and just like fuck shit up. And
that's pretty much all you could do.
Yeah. It was fun though. There were little missions you could do where you had to hijack buses and things or something. But anyway, there was little tiny. This is kind of goes way deeper of an experience than that. You can literally do whatever you want, from playing golf.
Yeah.
Like the mini games, you can play those online with other people. You can skydive with other people. You can have your own crib and just like fill it with stuff,
garage,
have your friends go around,
cars,
and then it's just you got the online death matches and all the usual kind of stuff you'd expect from an online game, and it just seems like more of a, it's like what I imagine PlayStation Home would kind of be like if Rockstar developed it.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of the idea they're going for.
It's not just an online mode, it's a full-blown MMO, really.
Yeah, pretty much. It is GTA Online. It is as it sounds, It's pretty crazy.
They've said it's kind of a standalone thing. It comes free with Grand Theft Auto 5, but the scope of it will keep growing.
It will expand. There's even a game editor where you can edit maps and then do like deathmatches and stuff. That's pretty cool. Yeah, make your own races as well. It just sounds like there was really no need to actually make GTA 5, the game. They could have just done this and everybody would have been happy. I'm not complaining, obviously, because we get this as well as a fucking what looks like it's going to be an awesome game.
Yeah.
But
and also
pretty incredible.
Little thing I was excited about was like fully voiced NPCs and all that, giving you missions and stuff.
Yeah.
It has a story. You fly into Los Santos and you basically start your career and do whatever you want. You can.
I can see a lot of people just going straight into that. Well. Yeah. Not obviously from day one though. It's smart to launch it later on, but I can see as soon as this launches, people not going back to like the kind of offline campaign stuff.
Yeah.
I really want to play this so bad. It looks so good. Yeah. It's some of the most fun I've had on playing in GTA is just online, just not doing anything in particular, just finding stuff to destroy or do whatever you like kind of thing. And it has that vibe, but it also has the missions, and it has things you can do, and you can interact with other people, and it looks incredible. It actually looks really, really ambitious. Yeah. And almost too ambitious. I'm worried this is not going to work, but this is Rockstar, so
have faith.
Have some faith, yeah. Well, we've got, like I said before at the top of the show, we've got some reviews. We are going to be talking about Payday 2, which just came out, and we've had a little bit of, you guys have had a go on it, and I've probably played the most. Played a lot of hours and hours of Payday 2. Essentially, for anyone who doesn't know, Payday 2 is from Starbreeze Studios, which is the Swedish, I believe, studio that brought us that freaking awesome Riddick game on the last gen that was then HD remade.
Escape from Butcher Bay.
That's the one. And the first Darkness game, which is also fucking awesome. It's from one of the smaller studios they own called Overkill, and it's published by 505 Games. It's basically like a budget title. By that I mean it's like half the price of a normal full retail disc. And basically, essentially what it is, it's you go around robbing banks, jewelry stores, you've got your kind of crew together.
You're all whacked on the Scooby Snacks?
Yeah, indeed. And and basically you know, that's it, that's kind of the game. The idea is to make money, purchase, you know, more weapons, better equipment, that kind of stuff. It is really pitched as an online game more than anything. It has an offline mode, which, you know, obviously you play with like AI bots and kind of shit like that. And
seems
it does
a little bit broken.
Yeah, not great. I mean, as a budget title goes, obviously the graphics aren't super amazing.
No.
There's a lot of issues with things not looking as kind of nice as you want them to at this tail end of the generation. And there's a lot of kind of screen tearing and stuff like that. That's kind of nitpicking a little bit because you're not paying full price for this game. But it is a lot of fun. The one thing it has going for it is that it kind of does what it does, and it does it well. It doesn't do much. It isn't a really deep experience. It's kind of funny we just talked about GTA Online because I feel like this is kind of they could have done something similar to that, not as deep as that, but they could have done something a little bit deeper where you kind of really kind of start your character from day one, kind of you know, work him up the kind of criminal food chain, so to speak. But they don't do any of that. It's kind of just, here's a bank, go rob it.
Yeah.
Go grab a thermal drill. Go around the back. Try not to shoot too many people. You know, it's just, you kind of, it's good because it's instant gratification. You're going to get stuck in straight away. You know, it does have its issues. The controls aren't great. I mean, what are your thoughts? You got to play a little bit. You played mostly offline. I did play a bit of online, and it was kind of all right. It was kind of the same experience, really.
I sort of sucked at it.
Same here.
Yeah.
Well, as first mentioned, it's a first-person shooter style.
Yeah. But I feel, I don't know, it seems like one of those games that if you don't know what you're in for, or don't know what you're doing, it can be really difficult.
Yeah.
Even if you do know what you're doing, it can still go tits up.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I literally just walked in to the jewellery store just to look around, and the security guard instantly put cuffs on me, so I was like, oh.
That's kind of...
that sucks. While everyone else was stealing stuff, I was there trying to get the cuffs off.
Yeah.
A cuff-happy security guard.
Yeah, it happened.
You look suspicious. Watch you.
Just like that.
Yeah, it was literally just like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there are definitely... I wouldn't say it's a broken game. I think there's definitely issues. I think there's definitely things that need to be fixed about it. For all its flaws, visually and technically, gameplay-wise, it's still really, really fun. And yes, it's repetitive, really, really repetitive, doing the same missions over and over again. Oh, it's just slightly harder this time, whatever, you know. You know, there isn't a lot of gameplay here, but I still played it for about 8 hours. So, you know, it was fun to try different, and what's good is that it does have this kind of approach where you can just go straight into the bank and start like firing your gun in the air, you know, like get the fuck down, all that kind of shit, yeah? Or you can try and be stealthy and kind of like maybe break in through the roof or something and kind of take out the security cameras first, and you know, that takes a shitload of time though, and there's no much fun in that. So, you know, just saying.
It sounds like it could be fun, but is there problems with the execution or? Yeah,
it's one of those things where there is a fun game there. It just has so many little issues, and when you're playing it offline, because it really isn't designed to be an offline game essentially, but obviously got to throw that in there. You do have the problem with the AI being a bit thick and being a bit stupid, but then again, you can get just as many thick people online anyway. So it kind of. Either or really. No, but like it is a much better experience online, which is what it's tailored for. You have to earn so much money just to upgrade stuff. The whole, it has a skill tree, but doesn't really give you.
Money.
The thing is, you got to earn so much fucking cash to unlock tiny little bits and pieces that make a bit of a difference in the long run, but it seems like you have to work really, really, really hard. And I played so many hours of it, and now I kind of feel like, well, I'm not really progressing. So it kind of feels like the grind's too much. It's too much of a grind there to actually get anywhere, and it just kind of feels too much. They've made it too difficult to actually progressing, it kind of feels a bit shitty. But other than that, I mean, you got to play very little.
I kind of got frustrated with the controls.
Yeah, the controls I had to tweak about a little bit to actually get them sort of quick enough. They're a little bit sluggish and there's slight lag to some movements and things, and you know, I'm sure these are things that'll be patched by now, but don't expect a full kind of AAA title experience. There's none of that kind of. It's unfortunate this has come from Starbreeze, because actually a lot of their games kind of have this amazing sheen to them that's kind of all this polish and that, and this kind of really doesn't have as much of that, but it's a lot of fun. I imagine it looks a lot nicer on PC, you know, but it's out now. Payday 2, check it out. It's a nice little time waste between this and, you know, GTA coming out. So
throwing bags in the back of a van is weirdly satisfying.
Yes. Okay, awesome. Right, well, let's talk about some movies. So in movies, we've got 2 really cool reviews coming up in a moment. There's sort of they're not old films, but they're films that have been out for a little while, so we're just kind of getting around to talking about them. But quick bit of news. A picture was put up on Simon Pegg's Twitter the other day that kind of stirred some controversy. He was obviously taking a tour of Marvel Studios and had his picture taken while pointing to an illustration of Ant-Man. And we all know that Edgar Wright is writing and directing Ant-Man for Marvel, and a lot of people took this to believe, wow, is Simon Pegg going to be Ant-Man? Oh my god, blah 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 blah.
It was said, years ago when it was first announced, he said he wouldn't be.
Yeah.
But of course he does this. We all know how much Simon Pegg loves to torture Twitter.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But it could just be him just pointing out, you know, I think my mate's doing this.
Honestly, yeah, he was just, I mean, there was pictures of him all over, like, with all kinds of different bits and pieces from the Marvel Studios and stuff, so like, loads of photos of him. It's just kind of funny, people picked up on that one photo, and it's kind of like, well, it doesn't mean anything, it's just like...
No. But you see...
Hey, Ant-Man, you know, he's just...
Simon Pegg's one of these actors I really want to see in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, it would be pretty
doing
good.
anything, really. I mean,
I'm sure this will happen, but whether... I don't think it will be Ant-Man.
No. For the longest time, I was hoping that he'd be the voice of Rocket Raccoon in the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy movie, because for those of you who don't read comics, he's basically a raccoon with a machine gun. Yeah, and I reckon Simon Pegg would have done that really, really well. But apparently that's James Gunn's brother who's doing the voice of that. But having said that, Vin Diesel took a tour and did a tweet pic of him in front of a Marvel poster right next to a character called the Vision, and everybody's like, oh yeah, he's going to be the Vision, oh yeah, he's going to be the Vision. And it turns out he's a character in Guardians of the Galaxy called Groot, who's a tree. So
pretty good acting though.
Yeah,
like, he's got a good range of wooden acting. So it kind of works.
So
the only way you could better that is if you put Keanu Reeves in that role.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably move on.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was just a fucking picture, and you know what people are like online. They kind of take things kind of a bit too far, and he may be playing Ant-Man, but he's basically...
It'd be cool even if he's just in Ant-Man.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. Cameo here and there, you know, it'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So Edgar, right?
Yeah. So, let's talk about the good stuff. Let's talk about the reviews that we've got lined up now. I'll tease the second part. Wait, you're already laughing, so that's good. Well, you guys went to see The Conjuring. I've kind of bullied you into seeing it because, like, I mean, I've already reviewed it for the Screencast.
Michelle saw it. I saw most of it, but I listened to a good portion.
We'll talk about that in a minute because that's coming up. But way back in like June, I think, the Sci-Fi Channel's original movie Sharknado aired, and it only just came out on Sci-Fi over here last weekend. Or the weekend before that, if you're watching next weekend when this goes out, that's really...
A couple of weeks ago.
A few weeks ago, it was aired on the UK Sci-Fi Channel, and we got the chance to see it finally.
I didn't want to see it. I want to make that perfect.
We did put a Facebook photo of you sat there watching it, looking a little bit... Because you got a big thing about sharks.
Yes.
So hence the... Anyway, Sharknado. Holy fucking balls. How incredible is this film? I can see what the fuss is about.
This film is actually pretty awesome. This is done...
in the fact that how bad it is.
Yeah, but like the thing is, I think if this had been around, if you go back 12 episodes to like the first episode of this, when we did the fucking bad movie challenge,
that would have been
if that was around then,
that would have been
whoever picked that would have won that shit because that was extremely good. Anyway,
I have to say, as we just mentioned, I do have a strangely, I won't say irrational fear of sharks, because I think
Depends who's wondering.
I think it's fairly rational to be scared of giant fish that can eat you.
Okay, fair enough.
But no, this film actually did a lot to help me get over that fear, because
It was pure comedy.
It was comedy gold.
Here's the thing: we sat down to watch it. The acting from the first scene was just pretty awful. It was kind of like, oh, this is typical the asylum sci-fi original bullshit, yeah. But then the film kind of got going, and it was kind of like, this is actually legitimately fucking awesome. Like, how I did not expect it to be that much fun. I mean, me and you were like fucking laughing out loud so bad. Like, I've never laughed that hard at anything.
Yeah.
I don't think I even laughed that hard at like when we went to see The World's End or anything like that. You know, like it was proper like it hurts to carry on laughing kind of fun. But anyway, yeah. So you know, it is one of those movies that's kind of. I think by this point they know the movies are pretty awful.
You could tell by about 10 minutes in that the actors had just given up.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever.
I think, yeah. Well, we'll get to that. Jesus. Wow. So basically, yeah, I think like they've kind of at this point realised they're kind of making the cheap, trashy knockoffs and trying to stop trying to make them good and trying to make them fun and kind of comical and more of a kind of event. I know that fucking Ghost Shark airs like in a week, so we can probably watch that as well.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
They're doing. I think in the US they're doing like the double bill. They're going to do Sharknado and Ghost Shark on the same night. But anyway, we should watch Sharknado again. I actually legitimately, as soon as we finished watching this, I actually wanted to watch it again.
Yeah.
It was that good.
Just to make sure.
Just to make sure it actually
happened.
this actually exists in real life. I don't know, like you get. I mean, I appreciate good cinema.
Yeah.
You appreciate good cinema. You like, you know, we all like good films, movies that are well shot, have an amazing script, dialogue, acting, cinematography, everything.
This has none of
this.
that.
This has none of those, and I'm so glad it doesn't, because it's just. It makes it such a joy to actually just sit there and watch something so mind-numbingly stupid.
It's everything from the script, from the main character spouting these idiotic.
The fact that his name was Finn as well.
Finn,
fucking believable.
Yeah.
It's genius.
But it's sort of all this whole, the storm's going on, oh, it's going to get worse before it gets better, and all
The cliche, the kind of.
The thing is, there's, without spoiling anything, he has this wife who he's separated from, who's Tara Reid, whose then partner gets eaten. I half expected him to come out with, never mind, there's plenty more fish in the sea.
Yeah.
That would have topped it off. But from
the house fell down. He went easy come, easy go.
Easy come, easy go.
So, yeah, goes full of useful little quips and stuff. It's amazing.
But there's also the fact that they're driving around LA in this storm, and you're kind of looking around and thinking, you know what? There's not even a breeze there.
Yeah.
It looks sunny.
From shot to shot, the weather changes.
This is the thing. It's like without giving anything away.
I don't think there's much to give away really, but
okay. Yeah, I think it's just the end, like the instance when they're in the helicopter and they can get close enough without getting sucked in.
Just to throw a bomb in.
Yeah.
Fucking just chuck it.
I know how we can stop this tornado. Let's throw a bomb in it. America.
Yeah, it's exactly what we said. It's unbelievable.
The amazing thing is it works.
It works.
But to a point.
If ever this happens in real life, we know what to do. No, but it's refreshing to have something that knows it's completely fucking stupid and embraces it, and you know there's no continuity within the film whatsoever. You can tell how they got away with shooting some of it, like the stuff in the car. They weren't even on a road, and how bad some of the compositing was, how inaccurate the size of the sharks were. They changed size within seconds.
Yeah,
you could tell as well. Like, obviously, when they were sitting in the helicopter, they weren't. It's just a case of they cut the scene where you couldn't see the land on either side, and the helicopter was just.
Yeah, it was just like a bunch of dudes shaking the fucking helicopter with some like shitty background scenery or whatever. But yeah, it's
well, I like
it's amazing.
They've obviously gone out into LA and shot this movie, and people are carrying on with their lives. They're not even shut off the sets or anything, and people are just getting on completely unaware that they're filming a movie. There's this storm going on. Sharks are raining down from the sky, and they go to this like off-license grocery store.
Everyone's just buying.
Everybody's
stuff.
just there like casually.
Well, sharks are coming out the sky, but I've got to buy cheese.
I was constantly.
Like, what the fuck?
I was constantly glued to the background.
It was unbelievable. I think it's one of those.
Weather as well.
I think it's one of those things where if you watch it again, you're going to notice more stuff that's wrong with it. But that's a good thing.
People
I
standing with the sun in their eyes, hair perfectly coiffed, no ruffles, no wind or breeze or anything, looking straight up at this tornado which is tearing the city apart.
It's I can't wait because it's already been announced there's going to be Sharknado 2.
Oh
and
my god.
I really, really hope that
Revenge
it happens. It's going to be amazing, and I think this is one of those things. Sci-Fi Channel kind of they kind of get it. I think now we've had the ridiculous, fucking stupid thing versus stupid thing. You know, Sharktopus or whatever.
Sharktopus.
Yeah, I think that's one, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, it's just. No, it's just one of those things that they kind of, I think they've realised that it's just ridiculous and kind of embraced it and really gone with it and gone, do you know what, let's just make a fun, stupid, entertaining film and let's get Tara Reid in it and just tell her it's going to win her an Oscar or something, because, I mean, obviously it isn't, like, she was really bad in this, but it kind of added to it because everybody else was so bad as well.
Yeah.
I
think we actually said, didn't she used to be an actress?
Sort of, yeah, I think. At one point, I think she did some movies at one point that were actually semi-decent.
This whole film, though, is worth watching for two scenes, both involving chainsaws. I'm not going to spoil it because you need to watch it to find out.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Anyways, that's Sharknado out of the way. Anyway, what do you guys think of The Conjuring? Very different movie, very tonally, very different.
I was up for watching it, even though there's plenty of jumpy scenes that you heard.
I heard.
But didn't see.
It's the wonders of taking your jacket into the cinema.
Yeah.
You can hide behind
I went to see it a while back and I reviewed it for the screencast, and so I'm going to kind of let you guys talk a little bit about what you thought about it, because I kind of pushed you guys into seeing it. I said, you got to see it.
Yeah.
And so, because I thought it'd be good for us to review on the show, so.
Yes, thank you for that, Dan.
Awesome. Anyway, The Conjuring, it's about, I'll just give a brief kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of about, it's set in the 70s, early 71 I think, and a family move into a nice big house, big family of like five doors or some shit. It's crazy.
Wrap it up, dude.
Yeah, okay, anyway. They move into a house, it's haunted by some bad shit, and by a witch, we could say that. And scary shit happens. Talk about it.
Well, first of all, like I said, he should have put a condom on it with all those kids.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, they're not even religious.
No.
So there's no excuse for that. But
yeah, that's pretty well explained.
It does a really good job of building up the tension.
Well, I think from the get-go you could tell, like, obviously, without giving too much away, when they obviously move into the house, the dog...
Yeah, the dog won't go in the house.
There's clear one.
Yeah, that's me. There are so many points at this film where I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. They find a basement. They can't, I wonder why this is boarded up. It's obviously boarded up for a reason. If I found a basement and it was boarded up, I would keep it boarded up. I would not go down there.
No.
But
it's really funny listening to you kind of the thought process.
It's me, but there were so many things where you could feel the tension building up, and I started to hide, and there was no... Like, so they could have gone for cheap scares, but they didn't. No. It was more about building the tension. And you turning around and slapping me and saying, nothing happened, it's fine.
Yeah. No, but it's just a case of things like, you know, it's like when you lie in your own bed and you think, oh, okay, something's going to grab your legs and pull you to the end of the bed. It's like, yeah, nothing like that. And then you see something like that on film, and it's just like, okay, I'm scared to look under the bed now.
She looks under the bed. It's fucked up.
I said this, didn't I? I said, oh, she's looking under the... I think I really annoyed the people behind us because I was like, oh, she's going to look under the bed. That's the last thing I'd do. If that was me, I would curl up under the duvet and just stay there till morning.
Anyway, so basically...
You don't look under the bed.
The whole thing that's genius about this movie is, at least in the first sort of half hour, 40 minutes, is... obviously you say building tension, but the misdirection of it. You think something's going to happen at every turn. There's the creepy moment where she's looking into the thing and it's spinning around and it's getting close and it's zooming in on her face and it's zooming in on the thing and you kind of think what's going to happen, and then nothing happens. And then there's just these little tiny little moments where just little things happen to start with. But I think that's quite a realistic approach, because anyone who has a ghost story about this house being haunted or a house being haunted, every time you hear about that kind of thing, it never starts day one. It starts small, little things, and it builds to something more, because the whole point is that it makes you scared of it, and then it builds off the fear. So that's portrayed really, really well, I think.
Yeah. It taps into a lot of very uncomfortable situations, and the spirits that are in the house and how they came there the whole story behind it and the MO of this witch is very sort of dark and very uncomfortable.
What's kind of cool about this movie, compared to other sort of haunted house movies, is that it doesn't just kind of... It really kind of doesn't follow the family story so much.
No.
It's kind of more the story of the house and more of the story of the paranormal investigators that go in to kind of deal with it.
That's another thing I liked about it is not just the scope of this, but they build this thing, these paranormal investigators...
The Warren family.
Yeah, the Warren family. The first thing you see is them doing a completely separate case, not involved at all. And you find out who they are and what they do, and they have this room with all these haunted objects.
Yeah, that's a fucking amazing touch.
What I liked on the twist of it is obviously you see the family, you know, and they're being haunted, but obviously when the Warren family come in, you actually see their side of it, of what she sees when she walks
coming into it.
You don't really see any of that until they're there.
For me, the Sky, I said afterwards, you know what, they could do loads and loads of sequels to this.
All about planned for a sequel.
Yeah, all different cases, just following the paranormal investigator doing different cases.
I would watch that. I would watch that movie.
Yeah, because like I said, they have this room full of objects. Each object must have a story. And
what was the doll called?
Prequel, Annabelle. Creepy shit. Very creepy.
But no, I have to say, even though for like the scary bits and the one scary bit that caught me unawares, I'll say is on top of the wardrobe. I screamed, didn't I?
Yeah.
I actually
to be fair,
no!
It's one of those things that you don't expect because obviously, you know,
you're used to the misdirection.
Yeah. You're used to it by that point. Yeah. So when it does happen, you're like, holy fuck balls, that happened.
Yeah. So
very close to what
one
I said.
daughter sees something, and then you're like, okay, and then the other daughter looks, and then it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
But I have to say, although certain things about it I can't watch, I caught enough of it to kind of get the gist of it. And I actually really enjoyed it. I can respect well-made films, and I think horror films in the last 10-15 years have all been kind of corny, cheesy, all been done.
We've had the rehash of the slasher movies, and you kind of got the whole Blair Witch thing back with found footage, and that's kind of having its run. We've had zombies make a resurgence. That's kind of fizzling out a little bit now.
Yeah.
Well, I say that there's still a lot of fucking movies with zombies in them, but
recently we've had, obviously by the same guys, Insidious, and we've had Sinister, and now this. 3 genuinely terrifying movies.
Yeah.
It's got 1 or 2 of the same actors in, haven't they?
From Insidious. Insidious Part 2 comes out, Chapter 2, what it was called, comes out next month.
Which is another one I will sit
and listen to. Same director as well, which is pretty awesome. So you'll listen to
I'll sit and listen to, yeah.
Actually, Sinister and Insidious are on Netflix now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, anyway, that's enough about movies. That's covered it for this time. We're going to be back with some TV news. So for TV, there's really only one thing that we can really talk about, to be fair. We're big fans of Breaking Bad. All 3 of us can agree on that. We've mentioned it on the show a few times. I think we have. I think it's been sort of brought up at some point. Anyway, so it's kind of, whether you want to call it Season 6 or you want to call it Season 5 Part 2, the last 7-8 episodes have started airing. I say airing, they're on our UK Netflix, which is fucking awesome. We mentioned it last episode. I do believe that was part of the news. But it's been revealed that the premiere was viewed by 5.9 million people.
Shit.
I think that's in the US as well.
That's just the US only.
Just the US, which is...
Because we don't have it, like we mentioned on the last episode, it doesn't air on any networks over here. There's no channel that has it.
No.
So it's exclusive to Netflix, basically.
And for you who doesn't watch a lot of terrestrial TV, they've actually advertised Breaking Bad on Netflix.
I'm sure they probably
I'm
sure they have, because it's the only fucking place you can see it other than buying it on DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
For those 5.9 million people who watched the first episode, they had a treat. It was a good one.
It was, yeah. I mean, well, this kind of brings us to our tiny little kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, well, I was talking around it, but by the time this episode goes out, there would have been at least 2 or 3 episodes out already, or near enough 3 episodes of it. It's come down to the last 8 episodes, and if anyone doesn't know what's going on with the show, it's going to be really hard to talk about. So I think it's safe to say we better put the spoiler warning up.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Because it's really hard to not talk about. Basically, Yeah, it's all about Walter White and his meth
Cooking ways.
meth cooking.
Meth Empire.
Yeah, meth empire. Yeah.
Meth Pyre.
No. So basically, the first half of the 5th season ended with Hank on the shitter, his DEA brother-in-law, finding out the true identity of Walter White.
It's kind of funny though, because Hank kind of introduced him into all of this and actually took him on a drug bust. So
it was like in the first few episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
I bet he's regretting that right now.
Well,
oh shit.
Yeah. So basically, what I was amazed with this first episode was the last sort of 8 months. I've been thinking to myself, wow, once Hank finishes the world's longest shit, what's he going to do? He's found out the big secret of the show. He knows, he kind of, he has some very tentative proof, but I kind of thought the best way for them to go around it was that he would kind of make an excuse, leave, get proof. He'd want to prove it to himself before punching him in the face. Yeah. Which coincidentally happened in the same episode.
That's the thing. I was kind of shocked at how quickly
it kind of their confrontation happened. Yeah. Well, I thought it was going to be like they'll kind of like tease it for another episode, like that happened this coming episode. But no, they kind of got right in there, and that was right at the end of the episode. And what was built up right at the beginning of this season, the 5th season, was the whole Walter's ego. It was kind of built up at the end of the 4th season when he kind of blew up Gus Fring, but like he's the one who knocks. He's the one who
tread lightly. Yeah, we'll come to that.
Yeah, yeah, and so this slowly his ego's been building and getting in the way of everyone's kind of the happy family of meth makers, so to speak.
He throughout the whole series, he's been. Even though he's been doing bad things and all this, you've kind of rooted for him. He's been you understand the reason he's done it. But no, I can't even pinpoint a particular point where I got to the point where I actually want him to get his comeuppance. I actually want.
The thing is, it's got to the point now where you think, right, okay, you've had a good run of it. You've made shit tons of money, more money than you probably know what to do with. Your time's kind of up, and the thing was, it was kind of ironic that he actually made the decision to get out of it, and then
it's falling apart for both of them, and I think it's taken a big toll on Jesse as well.
We got to see right at the beginning of this episode kind of the extent of what happens. I mean, we saw it at the beginning of season 5, where he was already looking at him, buys a fuck off big machine gun.
Yeah. And which made an appearance again.
Yeah, which made a slight appearance. Yeah, at the beginning, where his house is basically just fucking run down and boarded up and shit. So it's like
Do you know what? There's been a few. It reminded me at the time. There's been some comparisons online. I can totally get. There's this poem called Ozymandias.
Yeah, they did the trailer with the poem in it.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Did you not see that?
No, I did not see that.
It came out like a week before the episode, but anyway.
But obviously, all that happened. We're kind of now at the point where we're finding out how it got to there. Yeah. They had a nice little Godfather moment.
Yeah, with the oranges. Yeah.
And
I think that's what's good about the show. Sorry, what's great about the show is that it kind of seems like each season they've had the kind of flashback. Or at the beginning of the episode, you see something that happens later on, and you're always like, what the fuck? It's always obscure, and it's always like, what the hell? How do we get here?
Yeah.
And then it's always explained.
Even in the pilot.
But like, it makes so much more sense storytelling wise now. Yeah. We're on the 5th season, the last, because it makes you think, wow, things go from being this bad to being that bad. I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
I know that happens, but I want to see how we got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what's great about it. I think there's not many shows do that.
No,
they don't tease it in such a way.
It's kind of, we're seeing all the pieces now, and we're just kind of wondering how they fit together. I mean, it's like Michelle mentioned with Jesse, how it's had an effect on him and taken his toll. How is that going to contribute to the whole thing? Because obviously, that's got to be a part of it. They couldn't get to Walt without to Jesse as well.
I'm only saying this now. I have no idea obviously what's going to happen next, but you can see somehow that Walter will possibly go to Jesse for help, and Jesse isn't going to want to be there to do anything.
I think he stopped believing in the bullshit. He realises it's bullshit now, and Hopefully, anyway. I mean, it's cool. I mean, there's
chemistry teachers.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, the acting's so good in this show as well. It just kills me watching it. Like how good this is, and like the fact that is like his team of like fucking Badger and whatever the dude's name is, I forget now.
Yeah.
They had an appearance in it. They didn't need to be there.
No.
But they had the whole little thing, and that was just amazing. Like the writing. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unfucking believable.
They basically gave a premise for what sounded like the best episode of original Star Trek ever.
Yeah.
And if you've been online, you can actually see that animated, which is phenomenal. But
incredible.
At the same time, that served a point because, you know, this is what stoners and stuff talk about. This is the sort of conversations they have.
Yeah, it was kind of a realistic moment, and it's kind of like, you know,
punctuated by the point that Jesse wasn't getting
had
involved.
enough of everybody's bullshit. Yeah, absolutely.
So.
I mean, we will talk about it once the show's over. I think we'll try really hard not to mention anything, but because it started up again and we're right at the beginning of the kind of end, so to speak, we thought it's worth a mention and worth talking about. And hopefully, like, people who haven't seen it, you really should have skipped this if you've watched it, because it kind of spoiled a lot of stuff. But we couldn't.
We did put the spoiler.
But we couldn't really talk about it otherwise. I don't think. Really well. It's hard. It's a really hard show to talk around because there's so much happens, so many characters, and it's just. I just love the depth of like that down to like you know, Hank's wife. I forget her fucking name, but like Hank's wife, like in purple.
Oh no, it's not Sky. No,
it's the other one.
Another one.
Yeah,
Marie.
That's the one. Yeah. How much
Not
she loves
important.
purple, but it's
When in
like
doubt, purple.
it's not even. Yeah, it's not even a big thing. It's like it's a tiny quirk, but it's laugh every time you see something purple.
I think it started off as a little thing. It's like, I'm guessing somebody must have noticed. Have you noticed she's always carrying something purple?
And then it's just become
they rode with
everything's purple.
I remember the one episode where they were in a house and they were in the kitchen and
So much purple.
so much purple, and it's kind of. But there's a lot of love goes into the show, and
it's a shame. It's going to be a shame to see it end, but. On the other hand, I mean, you know, these guys are going to go on to do some amazing things. I know Bryan Cranston's got a load of... He's always got stuff in the works. Aaron Paul, alright, okay, he's got the Need for Speed movie. Maybe we'll just kind of overlook that a little bit. But to see what Vince Gilligan goes on to make next, to write next, to produce, and, you know...
Got a cool soul. That's what I'm
hoping.
hoping.
I really hope it is. I really hope it is. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But we'll try not to kind of talk any more Breaking Bad until... The last episode's
We'll
try. We'll see. Anyway, well, we'll come back in a minute with some tech news. Okay, before we talk about the tech story for this episode, I think it's worth mentioning that we're going to be taking a kind of, I want to say mid-season break, but it's kind of not mid-season because we're kind of close to the end of the season in some ways. But we're going to be taking a little break after this episode.
We need a holiday, so fuck you break. Not so much... Less of the fuck you, but we need
Ignore him.
We're going to be taking a little bit of time off from the show, but we will be back on the 20th of September, and we'll talk a bit more about that after we've hit the tech story. But we probably should have mentioned that at the top of the show. We just kind of got around to talking about it. But so the week after this episode airs, we're going to put out an episode of Retro Game Night, which is going to be the last episode of that season, and we will be returning 2 weeks after that, I believe.
Yeah.
So only about 3 weeks, 4 weeks about us. It's not too bad. Anyway.
You'll survive.
We'll get onto that a bit later. But tech. So there's a lot of. We do like to talk Apple stuff on the show from time to time, and as always, there's with these things, rumours are just fucking flying left, right, and centre. We know there's an event on, I think it's the 10th of September, where they're hopefully going to unveil new iPhones. There's been talk of the iPhone 5S, but there's also the 5C, which we don't know whether it stands for colour or cheap, because it should be both. Because basically there have been rumours since the iPhone 4 that Apple are thinking of producing a much cheaper version of the iPhone in plastic, and it just so happens that a lot of casings have been, leaked online, videos and photos of these casings that are being produced by Foxconn, and they're plastic and they resemble the iPhone 5, but they're coming in different colours. The iPods now come in different colours, like yellow and red and all that kind of shit. Yeah, they're going to come in those kinds of colours. It's just
coloured.
Yeah, well, that's kind of but they're also the rumours that they're going to be a slightly cheaper price, and they will be minus a few features possibly minus Siri and things like that, you know. So they're pretty much going to be the same size as the iPhone 5, but minus a few features. Then the 5S, presumably, if that is also talked about or released or even a thing, is just going to be a quicker version of the 5, which is pretty much what they do. You know, it's just going to be a slightly better version.
I can just see people going, nah, cheap version.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, I've got an iPhone 5. I know they love it, but like I have certain issues with my phone.
Yeah.
And eventually, if it craps out, I'd rather probably buy the cheap one.
Yeah.
And have it in a nice funky colour. I'd buy a nice green one or something. I don't know. But you know, it's kind of cool that people may have the option. I think we're at a point now, or Apple's at a point now, where they have a decent market share, really decent market share, considering they never manufactured a phone previous to like 2007. They weren't even in the phone market. Yeah? They came along and said, we made a fucking phone, bitches. Look at this shit can do. And everyone started copying it, right?
Yeah.
Alright, now they've got a lot of flack for like not innovating and etc, etc. Well, obviously with iOS 7 just around the corner, fair bit of innovation as far as the operating system goes, because that's been the one big thing that hasn't changed all that much. It has had changes to it, big changes, but not as big as they needed to be. Now I think iOS 7 is coming out sort of, we're hoping soon after this announcement. You know, that's going to change things up a fair bit. But I think the one thing they need to do is to produce a cheaper model that, you know, will be free on cheaper tariffs, or will be £100 instead of £400 brand new or whatever.
This is the thing, they say cheap. I can still see it being a hell of a lot. Well, you say
maybe. I'm just saying £100 as an example. If they could bring out a phone manufactured from cheaper parts, at that kind of price point, say £150.
I would like to know on how, you know, obviously you get these people that do reviews on which one's better than this one. I would actually like to see on how well the cheaper version works.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we don't know for sure exactly. This casing could be for the, you know, this could be the 5S or whatever. But there's a lot of images that have been leaked with the name 5C. Now we don't know whether that's to throw people off or what, but the idea was that they were manufacturing a cheaper phone made from cheaper parts, and that, you know, that's something I think they could do with. If they can flood the market with a cheaper phone, more market share for Apple. It's a smart move, I think, personally.
Smart move for a smartphone.
Yeah, indeed. Well, anyway, that kind of really, yeah. I mean, September 10th is the event. When we're going to take our break, but when we come back, obviously it'll be 10 days after that's happened, so we'll have stuff to talk about there.
Will they be announcing a laser watch?
Unlikely, but we'll see what happens September 10th.
No laser watch, not interested.
I doubt the 5C is going to have lasers, but anyway. So
maybe the 5S though.
Maybe that's the upgrade. It's a laser from shit. Cook some stuff on the inside. Yeah, it'll be fine. Anyway, set to stun. So basically, yeah, we're taking this little break for about 3-4 weeks. We'll be back on the 20th of September with a brand new episode 13, unlucky for some. But I know for a fact we'll be talking about some stuff. We're going to be talking about the new-ish Michael Bay film, Pain and Gain, which has already hit cinemas in the US ages ago, and it's out on Blu-ray now. It's just hitting cinemas end of August, beginning of September. So we're in 2 months. I don't think we'll go to the cinemas here. We might just import the Blu-ray. It'd be cheaper. So we're going to be reviewing that on the next episode. That's not going to be till the 20th of September. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we've got planned. Hopefully a challenge will make an appearance as well when we come back. That'd be cool. Take some time out, but we can maybe film some stuff for the new episodes. So it's been great. The last 12 episodes have been amazing, and we hope you guys stay subscribed. Don't be put off by the fact that there won't be any episodes until sort of mid-end of September. We will be back, we promise, and we will see you very soon.